7 movies in, and Mission Impossible has seen a colorful cast of characters populate the series. Some have left the franchise, some have been killed off, and some have returned from time to time. So, here are some legacy characters that Movie Recap Pro thinks should return in Mission Impossible 8. I need you to trust me one last time. Originally slated to take over the Mission Impossible series for a potentially departing Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner's William Brandt was introduced in Part 4, Ghost Protocol. We all know how Renner replacing Cruise turned out. It didn't. But Renner's run lasted for 2 action-packed movies. Brandt looked to be a thorn in Ethan Hunt's side, but quickly became an integral part of the IMF team. Renner returned for Rogue Nation, but supposedly left the franchise for 2 reasons. 1, to spend more time with his daughter, and 2, to prevent being killed off in Fallout. But since Brandt is most likely alive and well in the Mission Impossible universe and Renner is still a big star, it makes perfect sense to bring him back for one final go-around. We have a feeling that's what Mission Impossible, the final reckoning, will be doing, with a variety of legacy characters. Ethan Hunt's fiancée from Mission Impossible 3. The true love of his life is Julia, played by Michelle Monaghan. Much to Ethan's chagrin, she gets caught up in the dangerous action of Part 3 and is taken hostage by Philip Seymour Hoffman's Davian. In Ghost Protocol, she's briefly seen living a new life in a new city with a new identity. Ethan has given her up to protect her, and she shows up again just a few movies ago in Act 3 of Fallout. While she has already appeared multiple times in the series, the ending of Mission Impossible 8 should give Ethan and Julia the true romantic reunion they deserve. Yes, he might still be reeling from the death of Rebecca Ferguson's Ilsa after their subdued romance. But Julia is the one that got away. And you don't actually think Ilsa is dead, do you? This is Mission Impossible, after all. John Woo's Mission Impossible 2. Easily the most lackluster of the series, Mission Impossible 2 does feature one of the greatest living actors of all time in an uncredited role, basically a long cameo. Anthony Hopkins plays the head of the IMF, Mission Commander Swanbeck, and he looks like he's having a great time. And why wouldn't he? This is his post-Silence of the Lambs era, where he was making tons of dough starring in a whole lot of movies, many of them not great. But now is the time to really bring Hopkins back into the fold. Even Part 1's Kittredge was brought back in Part 6. They could even make Swanbeck a villain. The franchise barely utilized him, and it now needs to rectify that. Which legacy characters do you want to see return for Part 8? Let us know, and thanks for accepting this mission from Movie Recap Pro.